Stadium and Katy Independent School District for tonight's football game between the Woodlands Highlanders and Katy Tigers. Woodlands High School principal is Dr. Ted Landry. The principal of Katy High School is Dr. Rick Hall. Superintendent in Conroe is Dr. Curtis Knoll. The superintendent in Katy High School is Dr. Sandra Gorski. The athletic director in Conroe is Danny Long. And in Katy High School is Debbie Decker, who is assisted by Justin Landers, Lance Carter, Kyle Green, and Pat Allen. The head coach for the Woodlands, Jim Rapp, and the head coach for the Katy Tigers, Jerry Joseph. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to both sidelines at midfield. We'd like to introduce the good sportsmanship league representatives from both the Woodlands and Katy High School. The good sportsmanship league is a long-time existing tradition of Texas high school sports. Students from both Woodlands and Katy High School represent their schools as a gesture of goodwill and sportsmanship toward the opposing team. Ethics, integrity, and respect are values important in daily life. On the playing field is translated into the word sportsmanship. Sportsmanship is one of the strongest educational lessons and lifetime values taught in scholastic athletics. Representatives from the Woodlands tonight are Alexis DeBosley, Dylan Drew, Ann McCoy, Olivia Stanley, Tommy Esposito, Irene Sunderland, Summer Campbell, Jay Everly, and Georgia Mahoney. Representing Katy High School, Millicent Kennedy, Katie Rohan, Karina Fairnholt, Celine Juarez, Delaney Frazier, Lanny Millingham, Keisha Jimmy, and Giselle Bruce. Let's give these students a round of applause. Playing an important role in sportsmanship and school spirit are the cheerleaders from each school. Cheering for the Woodlands tonight, Brooke Bailick, Ava Bass, Eddie Beaver, All-American cheerleader, Wendy Brass, Emily Burkett, All-American cheerleader, Summer Campbell, Grace Carvajal, Jaden Everly, Maddie Jackson, Issa Hernandez, Christina Cabal, All-American cheerleader, Captain Georgia Mahoney, Caden McBee, Joey McDowell, All-American cheerleader, Captain Isabel McKinney, Terry Murray, Bella Patel, All-American cheerleader, Captain Bella Pastorino, Warner Ridge, Emma Tetlow, All-American cheerleader, Paige Tetlow, Jenna Irvin, Aaron Watson, Colleen Weiss, mascot Ollie Johnson, and mascot Kenny Prater. Your Woodland cheerleaders. Katy High School varsity cheerleaders are elite groups of athletes. Cheerleading is a display of discipline, practice, dedication, determination, skill, and athleticism. The Tiger cheerleaders are ambassadors of Katy High School and our community. They're privileged to cheer for the Katy Tigers. Introducing junior All-American nominee, Ina Ellington. Senior All-American nominee, Carmen Kelly. Junior Black Champion All-American, Piper Colin. Senior All-American nominee, Ed Conroy. Junior KBBC, Social Guru, All-American nominee, Riley Hicks. Senior Captain, KBBC Captain, All-American cheerleader, Bailey Gamble. Senior Katy the Tiger, Nicole Ross. Senior Captain, All-American cheerleader, This time we will have a school song. Woodlands band is up here to be here, so we'll go with Katy High School alma mater.
The Katy Tigers went on the road for the first time last week and escaped Dickinson with a 7-point victory against the Gators. The Woodlands Highlanders gave the Bridgeland Bears all they could handle but couldn't pull out a win to remain unbeaten. Now these old non-district rivals renew their rivalry tonight for the first time since 2017, next on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
Come enjoy the heart of Katy, Texas, one of the most delightful cities in the Lone Star State. The best part? It's a short drive from Houston and minutes from the Energy Corridor. With places to stay and places to play, anything you'd like to eat, and an old town charm that can't be beat. Activities and fun for the entire family. Enjoy the best of both worlds in the City of Champions, Katy, Texas. For more information, go to cityofkaty.com.
In Texas, the future belongs to everyone, so we built the truck of the future for everyone, Ford F-150. With an available 12-inch touchscreen and interior work surface, it's built to put the world at your fingertips. Because the truck of the future isn't built for a few, it's built for Texas. Ford F-150. Drive one today. Now drive a new Ford F-150 with 0% financing for 72 months plus complimentary maintenance.
Ford is the best in Texas.
Welcome to Road Stadium in Katy as Dave Campbell's Texan Live presents the 14th meeting all-time between the undefeated second-ranked Katy Tigers and the 2-1 Highlanders from the Woodlands. Good evening, everybody. Michael Silvers along with Brent Hallmark. Delighted to have you with us. The Katy Tigers went down to Dickinson last Friday night and slugged it out with the Gators, winning 28-21 despite turning the ball over 4 times. Junior quarterback Caleb Koger was responsible for 2 of the giveaways, but he overcame those with a 4-touchdown night. But boy, it doesn't get any easier this evening, Brent, as the Tigers match up with an old rival.
No, and this old rivalry extends all the way back even more than 2008, but 2008 is what all the fans remember because of the pasting that the Highlanders gave the Tigers that year. When they left the stadium, they thought, where do we go from here? And they were worried that their star quarterback for that year, Parker Ray, had a broken wrist, hand, or both, and that they were going to have to go through part of the season with their backup quarterback. At that time, it was sophomore Michael Stockovic. But fortunately, it was just a sprain, and they used the open week the following week to revamp the team. And from there, it was history as Katy went on to win state that year.
The Woodlands Highlanders have one of the more prolific quarterbacks in the area in sophomore Mabry Matauer. He already has multiple Division I offers, and last week he scored 4 of the Highlanders' 5 touchdowns in a game in which they fell just short of upsetting the Bridgeland Bears.
And the Bears are the only team that they have really had a problem with, and who knows what would have happened if there would have been a fifth quarter. They gave the Bears fits, but the Bears ended up pulling it out in the long run by taking advantage of Woodland penalties and Woodland mistakes.
This has been a very entertaining series since it got started in 2005 between Katy and the Woodlands, as the Tigers are 7-4 against their non-district rivals. But really, this series is 7-6 Tigers if you count the two games in 1990 and 1991 when the Woodlands were called McCullough High School and won those two games of scores of 33-21 and 31-7. And so tonight is the first meeting since 2017 when Katy won on a last-second field goal by Seth Small next door at Legacy Stadium. These two were supposed to play last year, but that game was taken off the schedule due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Tigers and Highlanders have alternated victories since 2014. Katy's longest winning streak in this series is 3 from 2005 to 2007, and the Woodlands' longest streak is back-to-back wins in the aforementioned 2008 season that Brent mentioned in the open and in 2009. The Tigers' biggest win was 63-10 in 2012, and the Highlanders once won this game, as Brent mentioned, 47-0 in 2008. And the Tigers have won 4 state championships in years in which they faced the Highlanders, regardless if they have won or lost.
And this game is just going to be as exciting. The rivalry's there. Each team has issues. They had to deal with the practice not being there because of Hurricane Nicholas. So we'll see what goes on from there.
Let's go down to the field for tonight's national anthem.
Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand for the presentation of the colors in our national anthem? Today's colors are presented by the Katy Native Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps based at May Creek High School. To honor our veterans, the cadets would like to request all military veterans with us today, in or out of uniform, join in with the military hand salute to our nation's colors.
Teams where they are allowing opponents nearly
the field. And for the Woodlands, there is no tomorrow after this game non-conference wise. They have an open week next week, and then they begin their district play. Same with Katy. This is the last non-season, non-conference game, and then they start district play. So everybody is going to have to step up, especially in the wide receiver core, and make the plays when they have to.
Other than that, what are your keys to victory tonight?
Well, for one thing, for the Woodlands is they're going to have to use their incredible size on both offense and defensive lines to control the ball at the line of scrimmage. And
Katy has won the toss, elected to defer. Woodlands will receive at this end zone. All right, guys, shake hands.
And so they're going to have to use that size to control the line of scrimmage and basically set the tempo for the ball. They're going to also have to stop penalties. But Katy, on the same token, they're going to have to be quicker than they have been with any team that they played this year, even more than Dickinson, to take that out, exploit the secondary of the Woodlands. That's going to be key for the Katy offense, and be ready for any kind of bull rush, be it on offense or defense, because their lines can do that to block and to create holes.
Our game time temperature 80 degrees at kickoff under mostly cloudy skies. There's a 2% chance of rain in the area. Wind blowing at 6 miles per hour to the south, 76% humidity. Axel Robertson will kick it off to either Jason Williams or Cooper Starkey, a pair of juniors back deep to receive for the Woodlands. And week 4 is underway. Robertson won't give him a chance to return this one. The Woodlands come out and start from their own 25. And they'll be led out by the all-district honorable mention quarterback from 2020, Mabry Matower. He's thrown for 475 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks, completing 60% of his passes so far. Good enough for 4th amongst District 13 6A quarterbacks in passing. Threw for 170 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception in the loss last week to Bridgeland. He also rushed for a pair of touchdowns and 38 yards for an offense that's averaging nearly 450 yards per game. Jabari Reed is in the backfield along with the sophomore, 4 receivers. Touchdowns and 38 yards for an offense that's averaging in
Did you do it yet?
I just turned 18 yesterday.
Just do it now before you forget.
Done.
What just happened?
I registered with Selective Service System.
Johnny!
Every guy does it when they turn 18. It makes you eligible for college aid and millions of federal jobs.
You're a man!
Thanks, Mom.
Be the man. Register with the Selective Service System today at sss.gov.
Here in Jim Rapp's first season. This is his fourth season as head coach, taking over for Mark Schmidt. He is 25-14 as Highlander head coach. Handoff and slipping on the turf, McGill. So he's going to set up another third down and long situation. Line of scrimmage will be at the 43. We got a couple of flags down. Jonathan Hall arguing his case. Our referee tonight is Dan Romeo.
Yeah, it looked like that one player did not like what was going on, let it be known, and the other player didn't like
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 1. 15-yard penalty, third down, down counts. That's number 1's first unsportsmanlike of the game.
And you know, if he gets a second, Jabari Reed will be disqualified. Last week, the Woodlands penalized 10 times for 89 yards, and this is a loss all the way back to the 29, essentially killing this drive.
And this is where somebody like Ferguson is good to have in there because he can be explosive in that wide receiver position that he plays.
Third down, 22. Matower, this side. Tobin Miller makes the catch for a first down. What a throw by Matower as he's knocked out of bounds by the junior safety Brady Inglett. 24 yards on the pass play. They needed 22, and Matower delivered a 24-yard pass.
And this is where they're going to have to watch these routes because they've got plans and backup plans created within each play.
Handoff, Jacoby Mitchell straight ahead. Pick up just a yard. This is an offense averaging 282.3 yards on the ground per game. The Tigers gave up a season-high 278 yards to Dickinson last week. They forced their second turnover of the season in the win, but are still an uncharacteristic -6 in turnover ratio. Two minutes gone by first quarter. A couple of third down conversions on this drive by the Woodlands. It's second down and 9. Pass to the outside. That's complete. And Parker McGill charges ahead for another Highlander first down. Jonathan Hall and Carson Marshall in on the play defensively. For defense, that's allowing opponents 220.3 yards per game. That's good for second in 19-6A behind only Maid Creek after 3 weeks.
And you're going to find as you watch on, even though Matower is a sophomore at the quarterback position, he is very athletic and can read defenses very well.
Gary Joseph was very complimentary of Highlander quarterback Mabry Matower, saying the 6'5 sophomore runs it all and can certainly deliver all the throws, as another first down is picked up by the Highlanders as Mitchell runs for 12 yards. Mitchell in for Jabari Reed, who picked up an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty earlier in this series. Highlanders on the move. They converted a 3rd and 22 after that Reed penalty. And here's Mitchell again, chopped down after a 3-yard gain by Carson Marshall. He had 34 tackles last year, came in tonight with 13 tackles on the season. It'll be second down and 6. Over 3 minutes gone by here in the first quarter from Rhodes Stadium. Glad to have you with us here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. Matower on second down, pass is incomplete, flag thrown at the point of the pass. I have to check the penalty marker with referee Dan Romeo.
There is now foul for a chop block. The running back missed the intended target.
Gary Joseph told us yesterday morning that this Woodlands team is very dangerous. They possess a lot of weapons. He added that the offense made some little tweaks from the Mark Schmid regime that ended after the 2017 season as Schmid retired. But he didn't stay retired for very long. He later would come back to take the head coaching job at Oak Ridge. Jim Rapp, head coach of the Woodlands, says it's probably the one game he hates coaching the most is the Oak Ridge game because of how close he and Mark Schmidt are as friends and former co-workers at the Woodlands.
And working together that long, being friends that long, you know each other's tactics, and it can make for an interesting combatant.
3rd and 6. Matauer to McGill. Inside screen. Inside the 10. McGill slips a tackle and scores. Check that. That was Ferguson, number 6, not number 2. And Ben Ferguson has just given the Highlanders an early 6-0 lead.
And you could see that route. Once he had the ball, there was pretty much no stopping him because of the holes that were created, and he took complete advantage of them. The extra point is good.
So with 3.5 gone by, Matauer to Ferguson. A game-time decision for number 6. He's in. He makes a couple of catches and scores to give the Woodlands Highlanders an early 7-0 lead here from Rhodes Stadium in Katy.
Apply to the university that offers 98 unique degree plans. The university where 99% of students receive financial assistance. The university where you belong. Apply to Texas A&M University Kingsville today.
One more.
One more.
One more, guys, one more. Set, up.
Let's go, one more.
Hey, kid.
Yeah, we'll take one more.
Oh, one more.
Wow! Do it one more time. Do it one more time.
Tonight's game is brought to you by your Best in Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. 21-yard touchdown pass from Mabry Matauer to Ben Ferguson. Wrapped up a 12-play, 75-yard drive, taking 3.5 off the first quarter clock. 7-0 Woodlands, as they will give it off to Katy for the first time. Nick Sims will kick it off for the Woodlands. High pooch kick. Fielded by Nathan Wilson. Right up the middle between the hash marks. He'll return it out to the 33. And so here comes returning starter, the junior Caleb Koger. For 389 yards, 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's completing 60% of his passes. He's coming off a season-high 3 touchdown pass performance in the win over Dickinson, and he rushed for the game-winning touchdown on a dive over center. He did throw his 3rd interception of the season and lost a fumble on a sack in the victory over Dickinson. First down, a 3-step drop, slinging it this direction. It's complete to Silva. And Antonio Silva, who caught a pair of touchdowns last week, as close to a Katy first down.
And Silva was very attentive on that play because he saw that the ball was going to be a little bit underthrown, so he came back, made the reception, and came within just 1 yard from getting the first down.
Second down and a yard. Silva caught 2 passes last week. They were both for touchdowns in that win over Dickinson. On a handoff, it's Seth Davis, and he may have lost half a yard.
And one of the things that Davis did on that, he's testing that defensive line there. He also wants to see if the offensive line can make those holes that are going to be necessary for him to take advantage of and get downfield even quicker.
Davis has 445 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns this season. Had a game-high 121 yards last week against Dickinson, but was held out of the end zone. 3rd down and 2 for the Tigers, trailing 7-0 here at home. Here's Seth Davis to the outside, first down, into Highlander territory with a burst of speed, making tacklers miss, striding down the sideline. He's out of bounds at the 10-yard line. 48 yards for the junior Seth Davis, and it is 1st and goal to go for the Katy Tigers.
And that's the Tigers taking also advantage of the fact that this is really the first running team that the Woodlands has faced all year. So they've had no experience in how to deal with that kind of run, and it's showing.
Davis had to leave the game 3 times in the second half due to dehydration. Also fumbled for the second time this year. He is first amongst all District 19 6A running backs in rushing. Koger gives it off to him again, and Seth will be tackled at the 6. On the tackle, Manuel Guzman, senior nose tackle for the Highlander defense, who's allowing opponents nearly 375 yards per game so far through 3 weeks of this 2021 campaign.
And another thing that made that play work is the fact that the offensive line was able to get in there and open that hole very quickly so that Davis didn't have to wait.
Isaiah Smith in as a wingback. Left side of the offensive line, Ronnie Schneider was a game-time decision. He's in the lineup. Here's play action. Koger looking to the end zone. Throws to the end zone. Incomplete. Pass was intended for Isaiah Smith. Senior outside linebacker Martrell Harris had the coverage on the play. Harris is downright scary when he gets aggressive to apply pressure in the backfield. Gary Joseph said his offense will need to be aware of where Harris is at all times, and they've got to block him. Now it's going to be 3rd down and goal for Katy from the Highlander 7-yard line. .6:15 to play, opening quarter. On the pitch, here's Seth Davis making a cut to the outside, touchdown. And just like that, Katy an extra point away from squaring this game all up early here in the first.
And that's just a prime example again of Davis waiting, letting the hole open up, and then taking complete advantage of it, using that burst of speed that he also has to kick it into the end zone.
And the extra point by Axel Robertson. Perfect on the season. Ties this game up with 6:07 to play in the first quarter. Got a good one early going here on the west side of town. The Katy Tigers and the Woodlands Highlanders knotted at 7.
Your husband loves his mesquite smoked ham cut razor thin. That's why H-E-B has online customization and will slice it however you want it. Your daughter loves cheese. She has 27 favorites. Good thing H-E-B offers an unmatched assortment with over 200 specialty varieties. You love having one less thing to do on your to-do list. That's why H-E-B does all the shopping for you and then gets it to your car or front door. No store does more to bring the best to your door. Shop H-E-B with always free curbside and only $5 delivery.
In Texas, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the truck of the future for everyone. Ford F-150. With an available 12-inch touchscreen and interior work surface, it's built to put the world at your fingertips. Because the truck of the future isn't built for a few. It's built for Texas. Ford F-150. Drive one today. Now drive a new Ford F-150 with 0% financing for 72 months plus complimentary maintenance.
Ford is the best in Texas.
U.S. News and World Report has ranked Texas Children's Hospital #1 in heart for the 5th year in a row. See why at texaschildrens.org/best. The Tigers even things up at 7 after a 7-yard touchdown run by Seth Davis. That capped off a 6-play, 67-yard drive. And Robertson will kick it off. And the Highlanders will let it bounce in the end zone. Well, we talked with Jim Rapp this morning, and we asked him whether he thought tonight's game would be more like the shootouts against Langham Creek and Bridgeland or a low-scoring affair like the Lamar game. And he said, who knows, because in his history against Katy, either as an offensive coordinator or tonight really as a head coach for the first time in this matchup, it's been a little bit of everything, regardless of who's come out on top. There have been close games and there have been blowouts. And so far, we're off to a great start. 2 possessions, 1 by each team, 2 touchdowns in the game. The Highlanders start with a short pass that's incomplete. Looking for the slot man on this left side, Jason Williams, the junior.
And that's one of the things that the Katy defense is going to have to look for, because last week, even though they did lose to Bridgeland, they introduced this slot T option that was giving Bridgeland actually fits in defending against it, and it worked out pretty good for the Highlanders.
Jabari Reed checks back into the lineup. Gary Joseph told us yesterday morning that Reed is as good of a running back as he's seen in the last 2 years. Reed is yet to touch the football as Matauer hands it off to Reed. And he is hit hard and driven backwards by Jonathan Hall at the 27-yard line. What a hit by the junior safety, who had a 7-tackle performance against Dickinson with a fumble recovery and a pass breakup. A good, solid all-around performance last week for Jonathan Hall.
And credit Hall on that one. 9 times out of 10 lately, the first person to come in contact with Reed does not bring him down. It usually takes a group to do it. He did it by himself.
Third down. The Highlanders were great on third down in their opening series. Now Matauer will run straight ahead with real estate, picking up the first down and more as he broke contain and reached the 47-yard line for a pickup of 20 and another third down conversion for the Woodlands Highlanders.
And you've got to watch it, because for the season, he's had 27 carries for 107 yards. He's averaging 4 yards a carry. When he has to rush, he can be a threat out there on the field.
And Jim Rapp says the ceiling is very high for Matauer, and he continues to learn more and more on a daily basis. 5:22 to play, 1st and 10, handoff Reed straight ahead. We'll get about 4 into Tiger territory as he is smothered at the 49-yard line. Combining on the tackle, Dylan Bennett.
And part of the offensive strategy here, going down the middle when Reed does, is to see if there's any kind of holes that he can take advantage of, or just trying to wear the Katy defensive line down.
Chisholm Hill was also in on that tackle. Here's Ben Ferguson, who scored the game's first touchdown, picking up another Highlander first down to the Tiger 40. Well, for somebody who was thought to be a game-time decision, he's made a quick impression on this one here at Rhodes Stadium tonight.
He really was. In fact, part of the adjustments that the Ridgeland Bears had to do last week was continuously double cover him, because he was such a threat on the field for them last week.
On 1st and 10, here's a handoff to Jason Williams, trying to sweep it around the right side. Gains 3. Williams' 19th carry of the year. The last time the Woodlands played Katy was to open up the season after Hurricane Harvey in 2017. Things got off to a bang that night with a 102-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by Keyshawn Carter. Katy would come from behind and win that game on a last-second field goal from 39 yards out by the current Texas A&M Aggie kicker Seth Small. On 2nd down and 7, Tobin Miller. And he's going to be close to another first down as he's helped out of bounds by Arian Parrish. Do have a penalty marker down at the 32. Katy says it's on the Highlanders. Parrish was on the coverage against Donovan Green on the game-tying touchdown in the 4th quarter last week. That was scored by the Gators. That was followed up on the ensuing possession by some great runs by Seth Davis and a 1-yard dive by the junior quarterback Caleb Koger. What would be the eventual game-winning touchdown as we check
Little
in with
block
Dane
below the
Romeo.
waist. Crackback block. Number 19. 15-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
That's a tough penalty called on the junior Jason
Correction,
Williams.
2nd down.
Tigers have yet to get a lot of pressure on Mabry Matauer. Tigers did not sack either Dickinson quarterback Luke Martin or John Solomon last week, and in fact only have 3 sacks for the season. Penalty yardage makes it 2nd down and 28 minutes gone by here in the first quarter, 7-7 game. Highlanders have been able to move the ball in their 2 possessions, and they've overcome some big penalties as well. Matauer alone out of the shotgun. Here comes pressure. He's running, and he's going to throw it away. Smart move by the sophomore. One of the things Jim Rapp told us.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. Number 10 was in the area, and he was outside the pocket.
Sometimes people expect him to be a 3-year quarterback. He's just a sophomore, but he made a very veteran move right there by throwing it away.
The first impression I get after watching him in a couple of series is, can you imagine what he's going to be like when he's a senior? He's already getting attention from D1 schools now.
Got offers from Florida, Georgia Tech, Kansas State, LSU, and Texas Tech. Going to have to deal with 3rd down and 17. Dropping it low, and it is Jabari Reed that got hit after the play as his knee was down when he made the reception at the Katy 46. Then Silla came back and wrapped him up, but no penalty markers fly after that hit by number 2. For Katy, the future Aggie, who was a monster last week against Dickinson with 7 tackles, 3 of them behind the line of scrimmage. Right now, the Highlander offense looks to remain on the field in advance of a 4th down and 16 play as they need to get to the Tiger 30-yard line. Silla almost jumped offside. He got back. They didn't snap the ball, and he didn't make contact with an offensive lineman. Play clock down to 2, and Matauer, he's just going to punt it himself. A nice high punt that he angles out of bounds, and it hits inside the 20. So the Tigers get the first hold of tonight's game with 2:39 to go. Game tied at 7. Dave Campbell's Texas Football is the state's #1 source for high school football, college football, and recruiting across the Lone Star State. Subscribe to Dave Campbell's Texas Football at texasfootball.com/subscribe. You get 2 magazines, including the legendary Summer Edition, and a year of exclusive online content at texasfootball.com. It's a must-have for any true Texan. That's texasfootball.com/subscribe. 2:39 remaining after a 27-yard punt by Matauer. Katy takes over, looking to take the game's first lead for themselves. Seth Davis right up the middle, runs it out to the 23.
And you can already see one of the adjustments that they've made is a quick opening of those holes so that Davis can get through. But Davis is also reading exactly where he needs to go and when to exactly hit those holes for maximum yardage.
Tackle was made by Tommy Kratt, junior linebacker. Be 2nd down and 6, coming up on 2 minutes to play. Koger off the play fake. Incomplete. Not sure if he was targeting Isaiah Smith or Ronnie Schneider on the play. Evan Dubin had coverage on Smith, while Harrison D. Pasquale had coverage on his receiver, Ronnie Schneider. So now it is 3rd down and 6. The Highlander defense allowed Bridgeland 3 3rd down conversions out of 9 attempted last week in the 39-35 loss. It is 3rd down and 6 for Katy. Koger throws, and the receiver fell down, J.R. Sayanis, and almost was still able to bring it in. Pass defended by Ethan Winfield, who's the younger brother of both Antoine and Austin. Antoine plays safety for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Winfield led all Highlanders last week on the defensive side with 8 tackles. And Axel Robertson out for punt number 1 of his night. He's averaging just under 33 yards a punt. That's 7th in 19-6A amongst punters. Excellent punt. Ferguson calls for a fair catch at the 36-yard line. 41 yards on Robertson's punt, and the Woodlands take over with 1:44 remaining in the first quarter. The last time these two teams played here at Road Stadium was back in 2015. It was the smallest margin of victory the Tigers had that season. They beat the Highlanders 14-7 to go wire to wire and win what would be their 8th state championship at NRG Stadium later that December. Matauer throws this side complete. Camden Cash Tackled by Hamilton, McMartin, and Ty Kanya. It's going to be good enough for 3. Highlanders picked up 473 yards of offense last week against Bridgeland, but were outgained in the game 578 to 473. Jabari Reed spins close to a first down as he's tackled at the 45-yard line. Doubling up on the tackle, Jonathan Hall and Damian Nouveau. Nouveau had 7 tackles last week to lead all the linebackers against Dickinson. Came in with 26 tackles, good enough for 8th in 19-6A. 40 seconds to go. Highlanders will have to run one more play. And it's going to be 3rd down and short. Matauer under center. Takes it over his center, Sebastian Duarte. And he continues to roll and muscle his way into Katy territory, where he's finally stopped at the 48-yard line.
And he just put his feet down and just carried at least half the Katy defense with him to get it to the 48.
That was a 7-yard pickup. They'll run one more play with 8 seconds to go. It's a handoff to Reed, and he is buried at the line of scrimmage. Couldn't get to the edge as the first quarter comes to an end from Rhodes Stadium in Katy with the score. The homestanding Katy Tigers 7, the Woodlands Highlanders 7. Our coverage from the west side of town will continue after these messages here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
Here at Texas A&M University, Kingsville, we are a family. We support each other through thick and thin. We work together, grow together, excel together. We inspire each other to become the great minds of the future. We are here to ensure you succeed. Apply today to get started. This is your time.
Okay.
In Texas, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the truck of the future for everyone. Ford F-150. With an available 12-inch touchscreen and interior work surface, it's built to put the world at your fingertips. Because the truck of the future isn't built for a few. It's built for Texas. Ford F-150. Drive one today. Now drive a new Ford F-150 with 0% financing for 72 months plus complimentary maintenance.
Ford is the best in Texas.
Tonight's game is sponsored by Body Armor. Body Armor, more than a sports drink. 7-7 after 1, and the Highlanders on the move again. It'll be 2nd down and 10 when we resume play. An little scrimmage from the Katy 48. 21-yard touchdown pass, Matauer to Ferguson. And then the game-tying score came from 7 yards out. Touchdown by Seth Davis, his 5th touchdown of the season. As the second quarter starts from Rhodes Stadium with a handoff to Reed. And Reed is going to keep the feet churning, but for only 1 yard, setting up another 3rd and long.
And I actually think Reed's a little bit surprised when this is happening because he's not used to this happening. He's used to being able to get at least 4 or 5 yards on the play, if not more. But the Katy defense, using that group tackle philosophy of theirs, has proven to be a little bit of a hindrance. And let's see how it's addressed.
So far, the Highlanders 5 of 6 on 3rd downs. 3rd and 10 for Matauer. Underneath on the screen. And they won't get the first down. Pass caught by Camden Cash. And now we'll see what they do on 4th down. The last time it looked like they were going to go for it. Matauer just pooched it. But right now it is 4th down and 4. From the 43. Now they look to the sideline. Play calls coming in from the offensive coordinator, David Kolshin. And Matauer Long snap back. He's going to punt it again. And let's see if it rolls into the end zone. It does. Not going to be a very good punt, but the Highlanders give it back to Katy from the 20. 42-yard punt, but 22 yards net.
And Matauer had a decision to make right there, and it looked like they were actually going to try to go for it. Then Katy made some quick adjustments in personnel placement, and that's when he looked over to the bench and probably got the signal to say, kick it away.
Tigers back to work from their 20. Well, Gary Joseph told us he really can't put his finger on what it is with all these turnovers. His team has turned the ball over 8 times in their first 3 games, but they're still working on carrying the ball properly, and hopefully they'll get those turnovers out of their system. Seth Davis runs for a few to the 23. 10:20 to go here in the first half, 7-7 game. Davis has already carried for 65 yards on 6 carries with a touchdown. Second down and 7. Hand off Seth Davis, and he's going nowhere. Out to the 26. 3 more. Set up third and manageable for the Tigers.
And that was just pure effort on Davis's part to get what he did. The defensive line used that size to keep that hole from opening up, and it limited him to only 3 yards.
Third and a short 4. Handoff, Seth Davis. Straight ahead for a first down. Tommy Kratt in on the tackle along with the second team all-district linebacker Evan Dumid. Jim Rapp told us this morning that this Katy offense will simply wear you down, and their zone blocking up front is as good as anyone he's seen. Got just enough for Seth Davis to pick up the first down. It's 1st and 10 from the Katy 32. Here's Davis again. And on the tackle, John Podolsky, second team all-district lineman a season ago, played in 13-6A behind Grand Oaks. He's second behind Grand Oaks is Braden Bradley in sacks with 3. Second down and 8. Sayonis split out to the top of your screen with an I formation behind Koger, and he pitches it out to Davis with a full head of steam. He'll be short of the first down by 3 as he is stopped at the 39, picking up 5 on the play.
And that's the one thing about the Katy offense that you can really say is, yeah, everybody wants to get the touchdown on the very first play. But if Katy has to use just the small gain and just trot down the field, 7 points is 7 points.
This is 3rd down and 3 for Katy. Here's Davis on the pitch, makes a cut, has a first down near to midfield. Tripped up on the play by Jacob Pondent. Had 4 tackles last week against Bridgeland. He is a junior inside linebacker, along with David Ifenyani, pair of juniors in the second level for this Highlander defense, who concede a first down on a 3rd down conversion by the Tigers. Katy now 2 of 3 on 3rd downs. Koger play action to the flat. Isaiah Smith pushed from behind, close to another first down. And on the play defensively, Martrell Harris. This defense relies a lot on Martrell Harris and Bradley Warren, who's a defensive lineman, to create pressure. But they seem vulnerable against the run and downfield passing game when they're not creating havoc. That pass goes for 9 yards. It's 2nd down and a yard. Yep. Flags halt play. Katy might have started early. This will be their first penalty. They were penalized 5 times for 40 yards.
Prior to snap, false start, offense, number 13, 5-yard penalty.
2nd down and 6 after the penalty. Chase Johnsey was about to get the football. He carried the ball 9 times for 54 yards. And he was the only Tiger running back to not fumble the football against Dickinson. Came into this week 5th in District 19 6A in rushing. Seth Davis back in the lineup. He's the lone setback on 2nd down and 6. Davis, 1st down. Looked like that was Bradley Warren who came back to get him. He led the defensive line with 4 tackles against Bridgeland. First team all-district selection a season ago. And the chains move for the Katy Tigers as we come up on 6:20 remaining until halftime in a 7-7 contest.
And you can see what a difference it makes when Davis allows time for those holes to open up, and he got the 1st down on that one. On an earlier play, he hesitated a little bit, let the hole open up, and it resulted in a 1st down.
From the 43, full head of steam, Seth Davis lost the football. Looked like Katy recovered, and
ruling on the field fumble. Was that the runner was down before the ball came loose.
Well, never mind. It wouldn't have counted anyway. Davis ruled down, but that's got to create some anxious moments for head coach Gary Joseph. Davis has already lost 2 fumbles this season. He had all of 1 just last year. Second down 7. Johnsey gets his first carry of the game, picks up a few, tackled from behind by Riley Payne. Johnsey, just a sophomore, had 179 yards through the first 3 games of this season. He has scored 1 touchdown on the year. Here comes another 3rd down for the Tiger offense as they'll scrimmage from the Highlander 38. Go with 2 receivers lined up to the top of your screen. That's Silva in the slot. He comes in motion. Koger, play action. Silva, 1st down. Down to the 16 for 22. And a 1st down for the Tigers.
And you could see Silva had 1 step over his defender, and that was all he needed to be able to bring the ball in, secure it, get the 1st down and some change.
2 catches already for Antonio Silva in this first half for 31 yards, and now it is 1st and 10 inside the red zone. Seth Davis secures the football down to the 16, make it the 11, pick up a 5. Davis had a 3-touchdown performance against Cy Woods back in week 2. He had 3 touchdown games last year. A season in which, as a sophomore, he led the Tigers in rushing as he just exceeded his older brother, senior Jalen Davis. Four minutes to go, first half, 2nd down and 6 for the Tigers. Here's Seth again. Davis gets a couple of more down to the 9. Pushback came from the safety, Brady Carlin. This was a Highlander defense that gave up a season-high 578 yards to Bridgeland last week, and they allowed the Bears 24 first-quarter points, but held them to 15 the rest of the way in the 39-35 defeat. 3rd and 3. Seth Davis loses it on the exchange from Koger, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And the ball security issues rearing their ugly head again.
And that's going to be a long trip over to the sidelines because he knows it's going to be addressed because it's been addressed, and it happened again.
So Axel Robertson out to attempt a 29-yard field goal. He is 1 for 2 this season, hitting from 33 yards out against Clear Springs. And he drills this one, but it's wide to the right. So Katy comes away with no points. And we still remain tied at 7 with 2:50 to go. Highlanders will take over from their 20. Want to connect with us on social media? Follow us on Twitter at Texan_Live, Instagram and Facebook at Texan Live, all one word. You can also find your favorite highlights and content on our YouTube channel. Just search Texan Live. So the Highlanders take control after the missed field goal. Shotgun for Mabry Matauer. He's off to a good start tonight. He hands it off to Jabari Reed, who breaks tackles. Gets close to 8 yards on the play. Damian Nouveau comes off the pile with the tackle.
8 yards, taking to Woodlands.
Katy 3-0 coming in. The Woodlands 2-1. On 2nd down and 2, Matauer with a pump fake. Launches it over the middle, deflected and intercepted by Inglet. Pass was intended for Parker McGill, and Brady Inglet, who came in with 3 pass breakups this season, has the Tigers' first interception of the year.
And you could see the pass was actually a good pass. But when it was thrown, it was tipped by a Katy Tiger, and then Inglet ended up getting it before it hit the ground. So advantage Katy.
That leaves 2:20 left in the 2nd quarter, and Katy will begin a possession on the plus side of midfield, just on the Highlanders' half from the 49. Seth Davis, look out, there he goes. He leaves everybody in his dust. Touchdown. That's number 2 of his night. And I think he just made up for dropping that exchange on the last possession.
And I think that part of, you saw part of that adrenaline right there as he went right through that left side of the line, saw the opening, cut across the field, and went right into the end zone for the touchdown.
2:10 remaining after Robertson gives the Tigers their first lead. It is 14-7 Katy here from Road Stadium on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
Come enjoy the heart of Katy, Texas, one of the most delightful cities in the Lone Star State. The best part? It's a short drive from Houston and minutes from the Energy Corridor. With places to stay and places to play, anything you'd like to eat, and an old town charm that can't be beat. Activities and fun for the entire family. Enjoy the best of both worlds in the City of Champions, Katy, Texas. For more information, go to cityofkaty.com.
Your husband loves his mesquite smoked ham cut razor thin. That's why H-E-B has online customization and will slice it however you want it. Your daughter loves cheese. She has 27 favorites. Good thing H-E-B offers an unmatched assortment with over 200 specialty varieties. You love having one less thing to do on your to-do list. That's why H-E-B does all the shopping for you and then gets it to your car or front door. No store does more to bring the best to your door. Shop H-E-B with always free curbside and only $5 delivery.
Tonight's game is brought to you by your best in Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Davis runs 49 yards in 10 seconds to give Katy their first lead of the game with 2:10 remaining. It's Katy 14 and the Woodlands 7. See if the Tigers leave enough time here for the Woodlands to go down the field to tie things up. Katy will get the ball to start the second half of play. This will be a short and returnable kick for Starkey. Fielding it at the 4, and he slides down. Took a hit downfield by Broderick Johnson at the 14-yard line.
And Johnson read that well. He could see that he was coming, but he wasn't trying to deviate. He looked like he might have had a step or two problem and slipped. And the result right now, 1st and 10 for the Highlanders on their own 14.
Tower will operate out of the shotgun, 1st and 10. Incomplete. McMartin had the coverage of Camden Cash. Now, Jim Rapp told us earlier this morning that they called up 2 receivers from junior varsity due to how thin they are at the position, but he got a little thicker with Ben Ferguson, who was a game-time decision in the lineup, caught the first touchdown pass of the season, or excuse me, of the evening. Giving him 3 on the years. Matower now launches one deep in one-on-one coverage, and it's thrown out of bounds with a flag thrown. Again, a battle between Camden Cash and Hamilton McMartin.
Pass interference. Defense, number 24. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
McMartin, a returning starter, had 9 tackles last week, which was one off the pace set by Brady Inglet, who had 10. McMartin had a fumble recovery, returned for a touchdown in the state championship game last season. After the penalty, 1st and 10 for the Woodlands from their 29.
And I think a lot of the booing you can hear on the crowd microphone is that a lot of people thought that the ball was uncatchable to begin with, so there shouldn't have been a penalty.
Cash hit right as the ball got to him by McMartin. That's a good battle over on that side of the field. Well, Jim Rapp told us that Matower might have a go-to guy in Ben Ferguson, but he also told us that a lot of plays are designed to go to specific players. Right now, Matower has been targeting Camden Cash throughout this series. Comes this direction, pass is caught at the 36-yard line by Jason Williams. It's not going to be enough for a first down as we roll up on 1:15 to play. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
And credit
pass play of 3 yards, and Inglet on the coverage and the tackle.
Definitely credit Brady Inglet on that. He was right there as the completion was made.
Katy fans making noise. Keeper Matower. He will have the first down, but just barely as Marshall chopped him down at the 40-yard line. Clock is stopped to set the chains with 56 seconds to go. Both teams, 3 timeouts remaining. 4 receiver package for Matower, who lets it fly. That'll be overthrown. Jason Williams targeted on the play with Inglet in on the coverage.
And that kind of play right there is designed for one of 2 things. You catch it, you get the touchdown. If you don't catch it, what you're hoping to do is draw the defensive penalty and march it either 15 yards or even further down the field, depending on the penalty.
36 seconds to go. Matower, everybody out on 2nd and 10. Almost dropped it in to Parker McGill. Matower just a bit off target with the throw. We talked with Jim Rapp this morning. He said in the aftermath of the Bridgeland game that his team just needs to be able to finish drives. But they are a better team now than they were last week and the week before that. As Katy calls their first timeout.
First charge
of the half.
Timeout. Katy.
So let's recap what we've been through so far here in the first half. Things got off to a great start for the Woodlands, a 21-yard touchdown pass from the tower to Ferguson, which wrapped up a drive of 75 yards on a dozen plays, taking over 3 minutes. And the initial drive of the Woodlands tonight, that was equaled on the ensuing possession by a 7-yard touchdown run by Seth Davis, which wrapped up a 6-play, 67-yard drive, tying the score with 6:07 to play in the first at 7. And then here in the second quarter with 2:10 remaining, a 49-yard touchdown scamper, second of the game for the junior Seth Davis, and that's where we stand. It's going to be 3rd down and 10 out of this timeout. 32 seconds to go. The Woodlands with the ball.
And the Woodlands are going to be doing two different things. They're going to be marching down the field quickly because of the time differential right now, but they're also going to be hoping that they can get penalties to tag on to the offensive gains that they get to cut the time down that they need in order to score and try to go into halftime ahead.
Third and 10. Ball on the 40. 32 seconds remaining in the first half. Tower steps up. Oh, nice move as he shovels it to Jabari Reed, but the Tigers ready for it as Nuvo makes the tackle, and the Tigers will call their second timeout in front of a 4th down play.
Second charge timeout.
Seconds to go.
Katy.
Just another heads-up play by the sophomore.
It really was, because they came in really tight, just bull rushed, and it was thought that maybe just a little flicker pass over to Reed would solve the problem, but they were also ready for him, and the result is a 4th down for the Highlanders.
23 seconds remaining until halftime. Katy, Tompkins, and Cinco Ranch, the only unbeaten teams in 19-6A coming into Week 4. The Grand Oaks Grizzlies are the only unbeaten team in 13-6A entering the 4th week of the season. The Woodlands, College Park, and Conroe all 2-1. Oak Ridge is 1-2 along with Willis. Elsewhere tonight, next door at Legacy Stadium, Lake Creek is battling Morton Ranch. Seven Lakes on the road against Houston Heights, and Oak Ridge is hosting Tomball. Seven Lakes and Maid Creek, along with Morton Ranch, all 2-1 teams after 3 weeks. Katy Taylor now 1-2 coming into Week 4. Here's the punt by Sims. A little bobble and a return for Ronnie Schneider, and he's tackled down on special teams near the 40-yard line with 15 seconds to go. Daniel Gill making the special teams tackle. So 60 yards separates the Tigers from the end zone, and a bigger lead going into halftime. They currently lead it by 7.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if the Tigers don't just come out and take a knee and go into halftime ahead. And
get the ball to start the second half.
And get the ball to start the second half. And Katy will make the adjustments just as the Woodlands will do, and it'll come down to see in the second half just whose adjustments pay off more.
They don't look like they're going to take a knee, but they're going to keep it on the ground with Seth Davis to the outside, getting the edge, picking up nearly 7 yards. And that's going to do it. We've ended the first half of play here from Rhodes Stadium in Katy. 7-point margin. The Woodlands scored the first touchdown, 14 unanswered, scored by the Tigers. And at halftime, it's the Katy Tigers 14 and the Woodlands Highlanders 7. Dave Campbell's Texas Football loves to spotlight those behind the scenes who make Texas high school football the very best and safest it can be each week. That's why we've teamed up with Texas Children's Hospital to honor some of the hardworking student training staffs with our Student Training Staff Superstars Award. We're visiting campuses in the Houston and Austin areas this season to focus on these talented student trainers. Special thanks to Texas Children's Hospital, as a donation will be made to each program. U.S. News and World Report has ranked Texas Children's #1 in heart for the 5th year in a row. See why at texaschildrens.org /best. Now stay tuned for the halftime performance, which is brought to you by Texas A&M Kingsville, located just south of Corpus Christi. 14-7 at the half. Katy leads the Woodlands here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. Welcome back to Rhodes Stadium here in Katy. Michael Silvers and Brent Hallmark with you. An exciting first half of play, the Katy Tigers and the Woodlands Highlanders. 14-7, the Tigers with the halftime lead. The Woodlands got the game's first touchdown, then Katy scored 14 unanswered, almost went up 10-7, but Axel Robertson missed a field goal in the ensuing possession. Brady Inglet with the first pick of the season for the Tiger defense, and then Seth Davis 49 yards out, giving the Tigers the lead 14-7 after the first half. Your thoughts?
Well, going into the second half of the ball game, the Woodlands offensively, the offensive line is going to have to open the holes for Reed. He's 6 for 20 right now, 20 yards, and that's very un-Reed-like this season. And Mytower either has to go and have a stronger O-line protection, or he needs to start doing more play action in order to get the pass off. Defensively, the Woodlands, they need to start using their sides to cut off those holes that Katy running back Seth Davis has been exploiting all night. Katy-wise, what they're going to need to do in the second half is Coger's going to need to keep using play action on passing plays to get more time for his receivers to get in position. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised that down the field, just down toward the end of the game, Dallas Glass comes in as running back for Katy to offer a fresh set of legs as well as a different approach. Defensively, the defense cannot give up these third downs as they have been. You need to either blitz Mytower at the same time, cover Reed, and that should help.
Let's run down the first half statistics. First, for the team that's in front, the Katy Tigers. 200 yards of total offense, 160 yards on the ground. Caleb Coger has thrown for 40 yards. They picked up 6 first downs. They were 5 for 7 on third downs, penalized twice for 19 yards, no turnovers. And that's going to be certainly something we continue to look at as the Tigers came in -6 tonight. They got a takeaway. We'll tell you more about that in just a second. For the Woodlands, they had 171 yards of total offense, 71 yards on the ground, 100 yards in the air, 10 first downs. They were a terrific 6 of 9 on third downs. They had the one turnover, the Mytower interception that was thrown and picked off by Brady Inglet. 2 penalties for 25 yards. Katy's time of possession in the first half, 11:26. The Woodlands time of possession, 12:34. Katy will get the ball to start the third quarter. And here is Nick Sims to get us underway with a short kick that'll be fielded by Nason Wilson. It bounces right off his shoulder pads, and there's a scramble for it at the 25. My goodness. The Woodlands say they have it. They do. A devastating mistake. And the Woodlands will take over early here in the third quarter on the Katy 25. I don't know if it went right off his chest, his shoulder pads, or his face. Ben Ferguson on first down. He caught the Highlanders touchdown back in the first half. He is tossed out of bounds by Jonathan Hall. Gary Joseph told us he thought his secondary did a pretty good job at defending Dickinson's standout wide receiver Donovan Green, despite giving up a game-tying touchdown to Green in the fourth quarter on what Joseph called a heck of a catch. Green had only 2 receptions last week for Dickinson. Right now, Mytower has spread the ball around, and the Katy defense has bent but hasn't broken. Here's Jacoby Mitchell. Got by the first wave, but can't get a first down. The escape, Cade Robertson, before reinforcements came, was actually a loss of a yard on the play.
And Jacoby Mitchell in there to give a different perspective, running back-wise, for the Highlanders.
Mytower far side, great hit. Camden Cash with the reception. And Arian Parrish made sure he didn't get any more yardage. As the pass was thrown a bit high by Matauer, and out comes the field goal unit, Nick Sims, try to cut the deficit to 4.
And this is where Parrish's hit immediately comes into play because every yard counts where this field goal is concerned.
Sims, 1 for 1 this season, hit from 44 yards out against Lamar. The kick is on the way, and it is no good. So Katy do not give up any points after the fumble off the kickoff return by Nathan Wilson. Defense pitches a 3 and out. Sims misses the field goal. Halftime scores from around the area. Tomball 21, Oak Ridge nothing. They're playing in the fourth quarter. Lake Creek leads Morton Ranch 35-27. Down in Sugar Land, Clements 19, Dulles 13 in the fourth. In the second quarter, Manville leads BF Terry 28-7, while Seven Lakes shutting out Houston Heights at halftime 21-0. So a break for the Katy Tigers after they turn it over off the kickoff. Nick Sims misses a field goal that would have cut the deficit to 4. And the offense back to work for the Katy Tigers. Almost a false start. Hand off to the edge this side. Seth Davis, who has a couple of touchdowns in the game, is chopped down at the 23-yard line by Jacob Pondit. Davis had 161 yards and 17 carries back in the first half.
And again, it shows that the Woodlands has not really faced that too many running teams whatsoever, and Davis has been taking advantage of it.
The MVP of the state final is the deep man out of the broken eye. Give it to him. And he's going to get 2 more to the 25. Davis had 1,755 yards and 18 touchdowns last season. Brent mentioned as we came out of halftime, Dallas Glass. We have not seen the junior so far in this game.
I would think we would see him probably in the latter part of the third or early in the fourth.
3rd down and 5. Koger off the play action. Antonio Silva's 3rd catch of the evening. He's got a first down as he is tackled on the play by Caden Miller, senior cornerback. He had 3 tackles against Bridgeland to lead the secondary a week ago.
And you can see that slant coverage that the defense is using. When they saw the play action come over to the near side left, they followed through with it, but the result for Katy is still a first down.
3 minutes gone by here in the third. 1st and 10 Tigers. Handoff, quick hitter. Isaiah Smith lowers his shoulder and runs for 5. No store does more to bring the best to your door. Shop H-E-B, always with free curbside and only $5 delivery. See HEB.com for more details. Second down and 5. Tigers will scrimmage from their own 37-yard line. Koger play action again. Throws out low, and the pass is caught. Isaiah Smith with an excellent catch as he goes down to the turf at the 45. An 8-yard pass play, the Tigers move the chains. As the 6th catch of the season, make it the 6th catch for Isaiah Smith. Came in averaging nearly 10 yards a catch. Katy on the move. Good defense there. Seth Davis is brought down by Tommy Kratt after a 1-yard carry.
And Kratt and Evan Dubin read that perfectly. They could see that he was veering over here to the left side and together created a little bit of a wall and takedown.
From the 46, it's 2nd down and 9. Davis up the middle. Nailed by Brady Carlin at the 49 of the Woodlands. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 4.
And just credit the offensive line of the Tigers. They have been opening these holes, and Davis has been able to just take total advantage in getting all these yardage that they can.
So on 3rd down and 4. Koger hands it off, and Chase Johnsey won't get the first down. They go with the change of pace, and the sophomore running back is 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards shy. So now what does Gary Joseph do here? It appears he's going to send out the punt team. Jim Rapp told us this morning that his defensive line, while smaller than the Katy offensive line, they've got to get their pad level low, and the linebackers must be gap sound. Outside of the big runs by Seth Davis, pretty good job. Job well done by the Highlander front 7 so far tonight. Get a crucial stop on 3rd down, and Axel Robertson out to punt it away. Fair catch by Starkey inside the 10. Looking for your daily football fix. Texas Football Today is the daily live show from Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Every weekday at noon, Greg Tepper and Ashley Pickle tackle the football topics of the day with big-name guests and must-see insights. Watch Texas Football Today live weekdays at noon at texasfootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, or subscribe to the Texas Football Today podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Highlanders go back to work from their own 9. Keeper, Matowers, he pulled it away from Jabari Reed, and he runs up across the 20 to the 23-yard line. Good decision by Matauer to pull the ball away and take it himself.
And that's been working today. And one of the few offensive plays that the Tigers just haven't been able to stop since the opening kickoff is when he starts really rolling. He's either using it to just get him into position to get the first down or getting it himself.
5:10 to play. Here's Reed, and he is gobbled up by Silla. Touchdown Club All Greater Houston preseason selection and a first-team unanimous all-district player in 2020 with the tackle of number 1. It's a loss of 3. Going back to Matauer, Gary Joseph said he runs the ball well, can make every throw. Right now he's trying to lead his team down the field to tie this game up at 14. 14-7 Tigers. Quick moving 3rd quarter, 4:30 left. Second down, 13. Matauer under pressure. Matauer near a first down as he improvs to the 30, picking up 10. It'll be 3rd and 3. Parrish made the tackle for the Tigers.
But again, every time he gets the ball, it's very impressive to see. That should have been a loss of yardage for the Highlanders, and he turns it into a big gain.
On 3rd and 3, Matauer underneath, throws it to Reed. He's immediately met at the line of scrimmage. Ty Kanya with the tackle for the Tigers, and the Highlanders are forced to kick it away.
And the Tiger defense, paying all the attention that they are to Reed, has really been paying off because of his effectiveness in this game. Hasn't been all that much.
Second punt for Nick Sims, 4th punt for the Highlanders, and Blake Guyman almost got to it. Fair catch made by Silva inside the 30. Highlanders as a team are averaging 34 yards a punt. Before that one, kicked by Sims. 3:11 left to play here, Road Stadium in the 3rd quarter. Michael Silvers, Brent Hallmark with you. Neither team able to put any points on the board just yet here in the third quarter.
And a lot of it, you can see adjustments that have been made in terms of coverage and slot positions. And now we're going to have to see the adjustments to the adjustments on both sides.
Koger pitches it out, and there's Dallas Glass, and he's pulled down off the edge. A tremendous tackle by John Podolsky. So we see the junior Dallas Glass for the first time tonight. He's rushed for 233 yards and a touchdown this season. He had another 100-yard game last week against Dickinson after running for 100 yards and more against Cy Woods. Sixth in rushing in District 19-6A. He did lose a fumble in the win last week. 3-yard loss, second down and 3. Draw play off the wraparound give. Look out, here goes Seth Davis for a first down. At the 44, make it the 45-yard line. Cooper Starkey makes the tackle for the Highlanders. That'll be the 9th first down for the Tigers tonight. Clock moving, 2:15 to play third quarter.
And it turned out to be a really good misdirection play because a lot of the Highlander defensive linemen and secondary read it as if it was going over to the left when it was a draw right down the middle.
Glass back in the lineup. 2 minutes to go, first and 10 from the Katy 45. Here's Dallas Glass, and he can't find any running room. Jacob Pondit came slashing through and drops Glass for a 2-yard loss. Back comes Seth Davis. Davis, the younger brother of former Katy running back DeAndre Glass, who rushed for nearly 5,000 yards in his career and scored 81 touchdowns. Currently attending a junior college up in the Dallas area after entering the transfer portal from Oklahoma State. Second down and 12. Here's Seth Davis. Got it a yard or two past the original line of scrimmage, where he's met by Harrison DePasquale. Third and long coming up for the Tigers as we roll into the final minute of quarter number 3. 14-7 Katy here in week 4. Woodlands fans on their feet looking for a big third down stop. Katy 6 of 9 on third downs tonight, an excellent conversion percentage. Play action, Koger lets it fly deep, looking for Sayanis, who has to wait for it. Flag. Harrison DePasquale was supplying the coverage. Flags fly, and it appears it's going to be called on the Highlander. That was quite the move by Sayanis to kind of jump in.
15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
I mean, he saw the throw was going to be short, and he basically, Sayanis just jumped right into DePasquale to draw that penalty marker and get the first down.
And very effective. But the whole key thing was his timing had to be perfect, and it was.
That moves the ball down to the Highlander 39 with 34 seconds left here in the third. Yep. It's going to be false start on Katy.
Prior to snap, false start, offense, number 69, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Tonight's game is brought to you by your Best in Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. That sets up first and 15. Ball back on the Highlander 44. 2 touchdown runs by Seth Davis. A touchdown throw from Mabry Matauer to Ben Ferguson. It's all of our scoring so far tonight on the west side of town. 3-step drop, Koger delivers Sayanis. Shakes one tackle. Down inside the 35. Cooper Starkey is there to wrestle him down to the turf.
You could tell Sianos, after the reception, knew that the hits were coming. He was going to try to get as much yardage as possible because, again, 1 yard can make the difference, and that is what's constantly preached in the locker room.
Sianos' first reception of the evening. Caught a touchdown pass against Cy Woods back in week 2 on a 4th down and goal from the 10. That was his 5th catch. He came in with 34 receiving yards prior to the night. He gets this one as he has to twist his way to make the reception and then run down the sideline for the first down. With 20 seconds to go, clock is stopped. Ball will be on the 26. It's a first down for the Tigers.
And credit Sianos for looking and seeing what he had to do. He allowed the defenders that were coming after him to over-pursue by stopping, and once they did, he was able to go for the first down and get it.
1st and 10 from the 26 of the Highlanders. They bunch him up on the left side of the offensive formation, including wingback, fullback Isaiah Smith. Here's Seth Davis. Good penetration. Podolsky. That likely will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Teams will switch directions for the final time tonight. We head to the 4th. The Katy Tigers lead the Woodlands Highlanders by a score of 14-7. You're watching Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
Apply to the university that offers 98 unique degree plans. The university where 99% of students receive financial assistance. The university where you belong. Apply to Texas A&M University Kingsville today.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. One love.
One more.
One more.
One more, guys, one more. Set, up.
Let's go, one more.
Hey, kid.
Yeah, we'll take one more.
Oh, one more.
Wow! Do it one more time. Do it one more time.
No, come back. Start of the 4th and final quarter from Rhodes Stadium here in Katy. It's going to be 2nd down and 11 for the Tigers from the Woodlands 27-yard line. Michael Silvers, Brent Hallmark, and our crew with you tonight, our statistician, Chase Perisher of Varsity Wires. Statistics also provided tonight by Carl Thies and Sarah Hornaday of the Athletics Department. Tonight's game is a production of Dave Campbell's Texan Live and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or any other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of Dave Campbell's Texan Live is strictly prohibited. Good tackle by John Podolsky, closing the 3rd quarter, dropping Seth Davis for a loss of a yard. 2nd down and 11 at the start of the 4th quarter for the Katy Tigers. Handoff to the fullback Isaiah Smith, and he is tackled at the 21-yard line. Luke Jones and Harrison DePasquale combine on the tackle. It is now 3rd down and 5 from the 21. This was a defense that was diced by Bridgeland quarterback Connor Wigman last week. He threw for over 300 yards in the 1st quarter. So far, Coger's thrown for just 73. And on 3rd down, he'll throw here. Smith. Touchdown.
And again, another misdirection as Coger looked like he was going to do a play action over there to the far left side. He turns right around, comes over to the near right side, hits Smith. Result is 7 points.
Some breathing room for the Tigers. They are up by 2 touchdowns. Robinson drills the extra point. 50 seconds into the 4th. Katy up by 14 here at home against the Woodlands on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
Your husband loves his mesquite smoked ham cut razor thin. That's why H-E-B has online customization and will slice it however you want it. Your daughter loves cheese. She has 27 favorites. Good thing H-E-B offers an unmatched assortment with over 200 specialty varieties. You love having one less thing to do on your to-do list. That's why H-E-B does all the shopping for you and then gets it to your car or front door. No store does more to bring the best to your door. Shop H-E-B with always free curbside and only $5 delivery.
Here at Texas A&M University, Kingsville, we are a family. We support each other through thick and thin. We work together, grow together, excel together. We inspire each other to become the great minds of the future. We are here to ensure you succeed. Apply today to get started. This is your time.
Tonight's game is sponsored by Body Armor. Body Armor, more than a sports drink. 71-yard drive taking 9 plays, capped off by the 21-yard touchdown pass, Caleb Coger to Isaiah Smith. Second time those two have hooked up this season. That's the 6th touchdown pass for the junior Coger. That took 4 minutes and 1 second off the clock. 11-10 remaining in tonight's game. Katy leads by 2 touchdowns. Highlander offense get back to work from their own 25-yard line. Highlanders came in averaging over 36 points per game. I think that 33 points per game. Katy's been limiting opponents to 11.7 points per game in 3 games. Gave up 21 last week. They've given up 7 to Clear Springs, Sidewoods, and currently to the Woodlands. Matauer throws far side, and the pass is complete. First catch of the evening, Bryce Cooper, the sophomore. And it's good for 4 yards.
Well, part of Katy's game plan has also been, when they've been on offense, just to take their time going down the field, keeping the Highlanders offense off the field. If they can't be on the field, then it's just going to be up to the defense to try for this trip and score.
Jason Williams, the man set in motion. And there's a first down for the Highlanders. As Williams got the ball from the quarterback, Matauer. That kind of goes along with what we asked Jim Rapp this morning, whether he saw a shootout here, a low-scoring affair. Right now, it's a low-scoring affair. Katy doesn't give you a lot of possessions, especially if you have a high-octane type of offense that likes to score a lot of points because they have the ball a lot. Jacoby Reed is tackled after a 1-yard gain. The Highlanders haven't had the ball a lot, certainly on average, like they've had against teams like Langham Creek and Bridgeland this season.
And you can see
42. They scored 48 against Langham, and they gave up 39, but scored 35 in that shootout loss last week.
And you can see that right there when they would try to get through the hole, and the hole collapsed.
9:50 to go. Here's Reed squirting through into the secondary and into Tiger territory, where Carson Marshall comes back to get him at the 49. 14-yard pickup for Jabari Reed, senior running back for the Woodlands. Jim Rapp told us Reed has done nothing but improve and mature over the last 3 years. He only has 32 yards on the ground on 9 carries tonight. This side, pass complete. Ferguson shifting down to the 45-yard line. Kanya credited with the tackle. He was on the varsity as a freshman, selected first-team unanimous all-district linebacker, the future USC Trojan, who just fired their head coach this week, Clay Helton. 3 minutes gone by here in quarter number 4, 21-7 Katy. Second down and 7 facing the Woodlands as Matauer puts McGill in motion. Here's McGill out of the backfield. Good piece of tackling by Nouveau. at the 45, a gain of 1 for McGill.
And Damian Nuva was leading the other lineman down there in a slant coming over just to make sure that no holes were opening up.
3rd down and 6. Ferguson, what a throw. Right over the middle, into Tiger territory and down inside the 20.
And Ferguson really took advantage of the fact that the coverage was pretty much spread out. He really wasn't that tightly matched up. That's why the completion's there, and a long 1st down for the Highlanders.
26 yards. Here comes the 8th play of the drive. Matower down inside the 10. Connecting with Jason Williams. It's going to be 2nd down and a yard as the Highlanders try to carve into this lead. 7:45 to play in tonight's game. 2nd down and a yard, shotgun for Matower. Reed following blocks. Jabari Reed, 1st down and goal inside the 5. Nuva with the tackle for the Tigers. And now it is 1st down and goal. This is the deepest the Woodlands has been all night in Katy territory. Reed, no sir. Kanya again defensively for the Tigers. Keep in mind that the Highlanders touchdown play came from 21 yards out, their first possession of the game. 2nd down and goal from the Tiger 2, 7:10 to play here at Rhodes Stadium. Matower under center, gets a push from behind, and he is in for the Woodlands touchdown. Shades of Caleb Koger last week when he scored what would be the game-winning touchdown against Dickinson with a dive over his center.
And pretty much what you saw what you got, and that is that the front line just pretty much converged right straight ahead to give Hightower the advantage of just jumping over and getting the touchdown.
Extra point is good, and the deficit cut in half. 6:58 to play. It's Katy 21, the Highlanders from the Woodlands 14.
In Texas, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the truck of the future for everyone. Ford F-150. With an available 12-inch touchscreen and interior work surface, it's built to put the world at your fingertips. Because the truck of the future isn't built for a few. It's built for Texas. Ford F-150. Drive one today. Now drive a new Ford F-150 with 0% financing for 72 months plus complimentary maintenance.
Ford is the best in Texas.
One more. One more.
One more, guys, one more. Set, hop.
Let's go, one more.
Hey, kid. Yeah, we'll take one more.
Oh, one more.
Wow! Do it one more time. Do it one more time.
2-yard touchdown run by Mabry Matower. 11 plays, 75 yards, 4:12 the time of the drive. With the extra point knocked through by Sims, it is 21-14 Katy with 6:58 to play in the 4th quarter. Fair catch called for and made at the 10 by Hamilton McMartin. Ball will come out to the 25. This game tonight is brought to you by your Best in Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. 6:58 remaining in tonight's game. Katy wins. They remain unbeaten as they will head into District 19 6A play next week against the Seven Lakes Spartans, who were winning at halftime over Houston Heights. The Woodlands will get Aguilas Blancas Prep from Mexico next week. Good start on this possession for the Tigers. Seth Davis picks up 5 on the play. And this is what Katy does best, to salt games away. Get that running game going. Keep the ball inside the field of play to keep that clock rolling. But the Woodlands is going to need a stop here if they have any chance to try to find the game-tying score. Carter slides over to the right side of the formation at the tight end spot. On the pitch, Seth Davis. First down. Davis, for the first time this season, now surpassing 200 yards in a game. His first 200-plus yard game of the season. He had 11 games of 100 yards or more last season, had a season-high 216 yards in the win over Seven Lakes in 2020. He's got 204 tonight as he eclipses 200 for the first time here in 2021. There he goes again, near another first down for the Tigers as Brady Carlin gobbles him up after a 9-yard pickup. Inside 5:30 to go.
And Carlin did an excellent job of bringing him down, but still, Davis carried him at least 3 yards before Carlin brought him down. That says a lot about the momentum that Davis has once he's in full stride.
2nd down and 1. 15 seconds on the play clock as Silva set in motion. Chase Johnsey, first down. Warren on the tackle for the Woodlands. Katy picks up first down number 14 of the evening. Davis, 213 yards, 27 rushes, 2 touchdowns. Caleb Koger, 8 of 11, 94 yards and a touchdown. Outside of the fumble off the kickoff, the Katy offense has protected the football tonight.
And they've also kept the penalties down a lot more than what they've shown in other games.
Right up the middle. Isaiah Smith picks up 2. It was one of our storylines coming into tonight's game was, could Katy stop turning the ball over? They had 4 giveaways last week against Dickinson. They've turned the ball over once off the kickoff return as it careened off the shoulder pads of Nathan Wilson at the start of the 3rd quarter. They are +1, actually even really, but their defense got a takeaway on Brady Inglett's interception of Mabry Matauer back in the first half. On 2nd down and 8 with 3:44 to go. Here's Seth Davis. He's close to another Katy first down. Looks to be a 1.5 yards shy.
And unless Katy busts one out, the offensive scheme right here is to run out the clock if possible.
We asked coming in, how would the Woodlands defensively do against this Tiger offense? Giving up an average of 375 yards per game. Right now, they've limited Katy to 325 yards in this matchup tonight. 3 minutes to go. 10 on the play clock. 3rd down and 2. And there's a first down for Seth Davis. Lost the football, but he was going to be ruled down anyway. And that's a big first down.
Early on the field was the runner was down before losing possession of the
They'll
ball.
set the chains with 2:56 to go and then roll the clock again. At what point does Jim Rapp start calling timeouts?
And I think this is going to be one of those games that you do not see Katy send in too many of their reserves. It's going to be a tune-up game because the starters are going to have to get prepared for when they have to play all 4 quarters.
Chase Johnsey in for Seth Davis. 5 on the play clock, inside the final 2.5, and here's Isaiah Smith rushing for nearly 7 yards down to the 30. As the Tigers are starting to wear down the Highlander defense. And what we knew was going to be a physical battle up front tonight. The Tiger offensive line is starting to get a good push.
They really are, and also giving it to Smith has been very effective in tonight's game, and that's because it has to happen so fast. And with the Highlanders not used to a run-based offense, Katy's taking complete advantage of it, and Smith's the recipient of it.
Luke Patronella is checked in as a slot receiver to the top of your screen. 1:40 to go, and here's a timeout. And Katy takes it.
First charge timeout, Katy.
This timeout is brought to you by the City of Katy. Small town charm, big city convenience. Visit cityofkaty.com to learn more or to schedule your visit today.
Come enjoy the heart of Katy, Texas, one of the most delightful cities in the Lone Star State. The best part? It's a short drive from Houston and minutes from the Energy Corridor. With places to stay and places to play, anything you'd like to eat, and an old town charm that can't be beat. Activities and fun for the entire family. Enjoy the best of both worlds in the City of Champions, Katy, Texas. For more information, go to cityofkaty.com.
We said at the start of this possession, Brent Hallmark, that this is the stuff that Katy does best. When it's time to put the game away, run the football, get good chunks of yardage, pick up first downs. 5:18 so far, time of possession on this drive to try to put this game in the books.
And any team would just love to have that as their last possession of the game drive. And Katy is virtually a master of it, switching running backs constantly, keeping the other side off guard.
2nd and 3 out of the timeout. Dallas Glass in the game, and boy, he just can't get going. And a terrific tackle off the edge by Bradley Warren. And now do the Woodlands start calling the timeout?
Woodlands.
They do. So each team now with 2 timeouts remaining. That timeout brought to you by the City of Katy. Small town charm, big city convenience. Visit cityofkaty.com to learn more or to schedule your visit today. Let's run down our game summary. First possession of the game, capped off with a 21-yard touchdown pass, Matauer to Ferguson. I blew that call, by the way. I thought it was McGill, but it was Ferguson. 7-yard touchdown run by Davis in the ensuing possession, tied the game up at 7. Then late second quarter, 49-yard touchdown run by Seth Davis, his second of the night, gave Katy a 14-7 lead. They would go up by 2 touchdowns early fourth quarter on a 21-yard touchdown pass from Caleb Koger to Isaiah Smith. That possession took 4:01. Then a 2-yard touchdown run by Mabry Matauer wrapped up a drive of 4:12, 11 plays, 75 yards. And since then, Katy has taken the ball with nearly 5.5 gone by in this possession, leaving 1:34 on the clock. Try to put the game away, but now they're faced with 3rd down and 5 from the 32 of the Woodlands. Isaiah Smith, the fullback, he didn't get it. He's going to be stopped short at the 29. Another timeout called by Jim Rapp. Now, if you're Gary Joseph, you've already missed
Woodlands.
1 field goal. Do you send Axel Robertson out to try to give the Katy Tigers a 2-possession lead and essentially put the game away if he can nail it?
Wow. I think that's probably being discussed right now on the sidelines because they also thinking, can we give it to Seth Davis on a sweep either direction and just get the first down?
So if he does, we're coming back to this previous spot if he misses it.
Well, we're overhearing Dan Romeo talk about what we would do if the kicker missed the field goal
That's
attempt.
4.
Right
1,
now,
2,
with
3,
the ball
4.
spotted on the 29, it would be a 46-yard attempt. And Gary Joseph sends the offense back out on the field to try to pick up 2. 90 seconds to go. Here's your ball game, folks. Katy converts, they'll win. Seth Davis dots the I. Give it to him straight ahead, and he didn't get it. He did not get it. Big defensive stand on 4th down by the Highlanders.
And part of that was that the hole just did not open up for Davis. And the stop was made right there by the Highlanders. Credit that read on the play on their part.
Go back to what Jim Rapp, Woodlands head coach, told us this morning, that going up against this Katy O-line, their defensive line needed to get their pad level low. And in that instance, they got the job done. And now it's Matower with 1:27 to go, needing to lead a game-tying drive. That pass well off target. Jason Williams was the intended target on the play.
What Matower's going to need to do right now is quick strikes to his receivers, because Katy's going to come in there with the blitz or with an all-out total rush to at least get him off his mount.
2nd and 10, Matower under pressure, and he's going to be dropped for a sack by Nuvo. The first of the night for the Katy Tiger defense. And it couldn't come at a better time for the Tigers. Nuvo's first sack of the season. Timeout, Katy.
I still think that the Highlanders are going to be sticking with the pass.
Timeout, Woodlands.
All right, well, kind of figured that to call timeout, but wanted to go with Dan Romeo. He corrected himself, so that's good.
Yeah, but I still think they're going to keep up with the short pass. That's what got them their last touchdown, was exploiting the Katy secondary that was just out of step and wasn't covering in the zone coverage as tight as they needed to. They're hoping that that's going to be the case right now.
When they come out of the timeout, which is brought to you by the City of Katy, small town charm, big city convenience. Visit cityofkaty.com to learn more or to schedule your visit today. It's going to be 3rd down and 17. It doesn't really matter what down it is. It's 4-down territory, regardless of field position. Highlanders trail 21-14. They've got to get it to the 39 in their own half of the field.
If I was the Katy secondary, I would make sure that if Ferguson's in there, make sure he's covered, if not even double covered.
1:15, the time remaining in tonight's game from Rhodes Stadium in Katy. 3rd and 17. 5 receivers, everybody out. Matower scrambling, finds Reed, tackled by Inglet. Got him out of bounds. Clock will stop at the 36-yard line. Pick up of 14. 4th down and 3 upcoming for the Highlanders.
And pretty much this is the game for the this play is the game for the Highlanders.
A look to the sideline. Play call coming in from David Colshin, Highlander offensive coordinator. 1:07 to go. 4th and 3. Matower, incomplete. Turnover on downs as the pass fell incomplete. It was intended for Williams.
And it looked like Williams had it, but it bounced right out of his hands while he was doing a cut route to the far side.
Another game in which came down to a 4th down for the Katy defense. Just like last week, Luke Martin threw a pass too tall for Donovan Green. This week, Matower couldn't get the connection with Jason Williams. Victory formation for the Katy Tigers as they will finish non-district 4-0 and have a nice long weekend. But then again, it may not be nice. They're going to go back to work tomorrow and on Saturday as they will get ready to meet the Seven Lakes Spartans to open up District 19 6A play next Thursday night. This will be a 7-point defeat for the Woodlands Highlanders after losing by 4 last week. And this is a team up in 13 6A. It's going to be a team to be reckoned with. Just couldn't get the job done tonight. And couldn't keep the drive moving.
No, but I did have a question that was sent to me. Is there a possibility of Katy and the Woodlands meeting up sometime in the playoffs? Well, the answer to that question is twofold. First, the Woodlands are a D1 lock, so Katy would have to go D1, and the only chance they would meet up would be at state.
That's correct. Woodlands in Region 2, Katy in Region 3. They'd have to also be in the same division. Players exchanging handshakes as the Katy Tigers defeat the Woodlands Highlanders tonight by a final score of 21-14. Tonight's player of the game, presented by Texas Children's Hospital, is Seth Davis. The junior rushed 30 times for 227 yards, scoring 2 touchdowns of the 3 scored by the Tigers tonight. So Seth Davis, 30 carries, 227 yards, 2 touchdowns. He is our Texas Children's Hospital player of the game. U.S. News and World Report has ranked Texas Children's #1 in pediatric cardiology and heart surgery for the 5th year in a row. See why at texaschildrens.org/best. Brent Hallmark, your final thoughts on our evening tonight here at Rhodes Stadium.
Well, I think this game lived up to its billing. It was either going to be a blowout or it was going to be a very tight game, and it ended up being the very tight game. I think we saw a lot of improvement on both sides. The Woodlands gained the experience of having to face a run-oriented team, which they're going to take that into district play themselves and into the playoffs. Katy cleaned up a lot of messes that the coaches were just absolutely pulling their hair out over. There's still work to be done, but both sides have the time to do it as they get ready to go into district play.
Final score, the Katy Tigers 21, the Woodlands Highlanders 14. For my broadcast partner, Brent Hallmark, I'm Michael Silvers, saying so long from Rhodes Stadium in Katy. This has been a presentation of Dave Campbell's Texan Live. Until tomorrow night, for full coverage from around the city of Houston and the state of Texas, so long, everybody.